Welcome to the Fluent English DCD podcast. We are here to make learning English fun, practical, and easy. Whether this is your first time tuning in or you've been with us for a while, we're thrilled to have you here. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Emma. No matter where you are on your English learning journey, whether you're just starting, working towards fluency, or refining advanced skills, this podcast is for you. We speak at a medium speed to make it easy to follow, and you can always adjust the playback speed if needed.
Each episode of this podcast focuses on a specific topic relevant to everyday conversations. English exams like IELTS and TOEIC, or casual chats with friends. We'll guide you through 5 common questions on the topic, share tips for answering naturally, and teach you 5 useful expressions to boost your fluency.
Exactly, Jeff. By the end of each episode, you'll gain practical answers you can use right away, and expressions to make your English sound more fluent and natural. But before we jump into today's episode, let's introduce the DCD approach. Daily, consistency, and discipline. These principles are the foundation of our podcast and your English learning success.
The DCD approach is all about taking small, consistent steps every day to achieve big results. You don't need hours of study or the perfect moment. Just show up daily, even for 10 or 15 minutes. Over time, you'll see amazing progress.
Let's break it down. Daily means practicing English every day. It doesn't have to be long. Just a short session can make a difference. For example, you can watch a short video, listen to a song, or read a paragraph from a book.
Consistency is the key to making daily practice effective. If you practice regularly, even for a few minutes, you'll notice big improvements over time. Think of it like watering a plant. If you water it every day, it will grow. The same happens with your English skills.
And discipline means sticking with your practice, even on days when you don't feel like it. We all have busy days, but discipline helps you stay on track and reach your goals.
With this foundation, we're ready to dive into today's episode and explore how the DCD approach can transform your English practice.
Feel free to pause the episode anytime to jot down notes or reflect on how you can apply these tips to your routine.
If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss upcoming episodes filled with tips and lessons to take your English to the next level. Take 5 seconds to hit that subscribe button right now.
Thank you so much for your support. Let's get started on today's episode and start improving your English together.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fluent English DCD podcast. Today, we are talking about sport. I'm Jeff.
I'm Emma. Sports can be a fantastic way to immerse yourself in English. It's entertaining, interactive, and full of real-world vocabulary. Now, let's dive into today's topic.
Question 1. What's your favorite sport?
This is a great icebreaker in conversations. Jeff, what's your favorite sport?
My favorite sport is basketball. I love the energy, teamwork, and strategy involved. Watching the fast-paced games and seeing players make incredible shots always excites me. I also enjoy following my favorite team, the Los Angeles Lakers. How about you, Emma?
I'm a big fan of tennis. It's just you against your opponent, and every match feels like a mental and physical challenge. I love how it's all about focus and skill. Plus, following big tournaments like Wimbledon and the US Open always excites me. Watching players like Roger Federer and Serena Williams is so inspiring.
To answer this question, start by naming your favorite sport. Then explain why you like it. You can also add details like a favorite team or athlete to make your answer more interesting. For example, I love soccer because it's exciting to watch, and my favorite team is Manchester United.
That's a great tip. And don't forget, you can keep your answers short and simple if you're just starting to learn English. For instance, you could say, "My favorite sport is swimming because it's fun and relaxing." As you get more confident, you can add more details.
And if someone shares their favorite sport with you, ask a follow-up question to keep the conversation going. For example, what do you like about tennis? Or, who's your favorite player? It's a great way to practice your English and make a connection. Question 2. Do you play any sports?
This is another common question. Jeff, do you play any sports?
Yes, I do. I play basketball recreationally. It's a great way to stay fit and spend time with friends. We usually play on weekends at a local park. It's fun, and it's also good exercise. What about you, Emma? What?
I enjoy running and swimming. Running helps me clear my mind, and it's a great way to de-stress. Swimming, on the other hand, is both relaxing and a fantastic full-body workout. I try to swim at least once a week, and it's something I always look forward to.
To answer this question, talk about a sport you play, how often you play it, and why you enjoy it. For example, I play badminton twice a week because it's fun and keeps me active.
If you don't currently play any sports, that's okay too. You can mention a sport you used to play or one you'd like to try. For example, I don't play any sports right now, but I've always wanted to try surfing. It looks exciting.
And if the person you're talking to mentions their sport, ask about it. For example, how long have you been playing basketball? Or what do you like most about swimming? It shows you're interested and helps keep the conversation flowing. Question 3. What sport do people in your country love the most?
This question is a great way to share cultural insights. Jeff, what sport do people in your country love the most?
In the U.S., American football is hugely popular. It's more than just a sport, it's a cultural event. The Super Bowl, for instance, is like a national holiday. Families and friends gather to watch the game, eat snacks, and enjoy the commercials. Yes, even the commercials are a big deal. What about in the UK, Emma?
In the UK, soccer, or football, as we call it, is by far the most loved sport. Fans are incredibly passionate, and big matches, especially between rival teams, bring the whole country alive. For example, games like Manchester United versus Liverpool are huge events that everyone talks about.
To answer this question, name the sport and explain why it's significant in your country. You can also share cultural traditions or events related to the sport. For instance, in Brazil, soccer is more than a game, it's part of life. Streets empty out during important matches because everyone is watching.
That's a great example, Jeff. And if you're talking to someone from another country, you can ask them about the sports they love. For example, is soccer popular in your country? Or, what's the most watched sport where you live? It's a fun way to learn about different cultures while practicing your English.
Question 4. Have you ever attended a live sports event?
This is a fun question to talk about memorable experiences. Jeff, have you ever attended a live sports event?
Yes, I once went to an NBA game and it was amazing. The energy in the stadium was electric, and seeing the players up close was unforgettable. I remember the crowd cheering loudly for every basket, and there was a halftime show that added to the excitement. It felt like more than just a game. It was an event filled with energy and entertainment. Watching the players make incredible shots and witnessing their speed and skill in person was something I'll never forget. How about you, Emma?
I went to a Wimbledon match a few years ago, and it was incredible. The atmosphere was so different from watching it on TV. Everyone in the crowd was so focused and respectful, even during the most intense rallies. Hearing the sound of the ball hitting the racket and seeing the players' determination up close made it so thrilling. I still remember how the audience erupted in applause after every great point. It was an experience that truly made me appreciate the sport even more.
When answering this question, it's a good idea to describe the event in detail. Talk about the sport, where it happened, and what made it special. For example, you could say, I attended a soccer match at Wembley Stadium, and the energy of the fans was amazing.
Don't forget to share how you felt during the event. Were you excited, inspired, or maybe even a little nervous? Adding emotions to your answer makes it more personal and engaging. For example, I was so excited to see my favorite player in action, and when they scored a goal, the entire stadium went wild.
And if you've never been to a live sports event, that's okay too. You can say, I haven't had the chance to attend one yet, but I would love to see a live tennis match someday. Sharing your interest in attending an event shows enthusiasm and keeps the conversation going.
Question 5. What do you think is the most challenging sport?
This question lets you share your perspective. Emma, what do you think is the most challenging sport?
I think gymnastics is incredibly challenging. It requires strength, flexibility, and precision, not to mention hours and hours of practice. Gymnasts have to perform routines that demand perfect timing and balance, often under a lot of pressure. The way they make such difficult moves look effortless is just amazing. I also admire how gymnasts must stay focused and confident, even when performing in front of large crowds. What about you, Jeff?
I would say triathlon. Competing in swimming, cycling, and running all in one event takes immense endurance and determination. It's not just about being good at one sport, you have to master 3. Training for a triathlon requires a lot of time and commitment, and during the race, athletes have to push through exhaustion to keep going. I can't imagine how hard it must be to finish such a demanding event.
That's a great choice, Jeff. To answer this question, it's helpful to explain why you think the sport is difficult and highlight the skills it demands. For example, I think boxing is one of the hardest sports because it requires both physical strength and mental toughness. Fighters have to stay focused and keep going even when they're tired or hurt.
Absolutely. You can also add examples of specific challenges in the sport. For instance, in rock climbing, you need not only strength, but also strategy to find the best way to reach the top. Sharing these details makes your answer more interesting and shows your understanding of the sport.
And remember, there's no right or wrong answer to this question. It's all about sharing your thoughts and why you think a certain sport is challenging. Whether it's gymnastics, triathlon, or even something like chess, which requires intense mental focus, your perspective can spark a great conversation.
Now, let's learn some fun sports idioms that you can use in everyday conversations.
And hit it out of the park. Hit it out of the park. Hit it out of the park. To do something exceptionally well. Example, you hit it out of the park with your presentation today. Or, her performance in the play hit it out of the park. Everyone gave her a standing ovation.
2. Throw in the towel. Throw in the towel. Throw in the towel. To give up. Example, I was struggling with the puzzle, so I finally threw in the towel. Or, after hours of trying to fix the car, he threw in the towel and called a mechanic.
3. Keep your eye on the ball. Keep your eye on the ball. Keep your eye on the ball. To stay focused, example, if you want to succeed, you need to keep your eye on the ball. Or, she reminded her team to keep their eye on the ball as they prepared for the final match.
4. Get a head start. Get a head start. Get head start. To start early to gain an advantage. Example, let's get a head start on our homework so we can relax later. Or, they got a head start on the project by beginning the research last week.
5. Level the playing field. Level the playing field. Level the playing field. To make things fair, example, the new rules will level the playing field for smaller businesses. Or providing access to quality education for all students helps level the playing field.
These idioms are a great way to make your English sound more natural and expressive. Try using them in your next conversation.
Today, we explored 5 common sports-related questions, shared tips to answer them confidently, and learned 5 useful idioms to enhance your English.
Sports are not just about games. They're a fantastic tool for connecting with others and practicing English. So, use what you learned today in your next conversation.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Fluent English DCD podcast for more exciting episodes.
See you next time. Bye, everyone.